I think it's safe to say that we all knew where we were when we saw this. It was an image really that I think will live for many, many years. Our brilliant and late Queen Elizabeth II knighting Captain Sir Tom Moore. And what was interesting, I just thought it really showed there's two people at the period in their lives, they've lived through so many different things, not too far apart in ages. She knew that this was a lot of fun because there she was in the grounds of course, Windsor Castle, bag on a chair, and suddenly, she's got the sword. He comes along, struggling, but gets there in the end. And you could see they were both sort of suppressing some sort of humour between them, seemingly because they've lived such full lives, This was a pivotal moment in the rise of the star of Captain Tom. So it's such a shame, really, that his legacy has been so badly tarnished, and more importantly, seemingly, by his own family. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you're all right. You're keeping well? We're all right. Yes, I'm not bad. Thank you, basking in a bit of sunshine. We'll have a lovely wave. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. This is a very difficult story, in fact, when you think, because the daughter of Captain Tom has suddenly come back out after the debacle of whatever's gone on with the charitable donations and foundations, whatever they set up at that particular point. She's now got a self-funded book and apparently trying to right the wrongs with the book, But it doesn't always work out like that. So she chose to go on a breakfast TV show, and possibly one that she'll now seemingly regret going on. You see, the problem was that the book that was supposed to be making a lot of money for various charities associated with Captain Tom. And what was interesting here is that obviously the deal she claimed was signed exclusively by her father. She pointed out that it was lucid. He was the only one that actually signed the book deal, and the money was going to be his. Sadly for her, the presenter is a former barrister stroke lawyer, clearly has quite a few connections. And he kept asking, are you sure you're not on the book signing, the book deal? No. Turned out she was, literally on national television. Now again, here's where it gets really confusing and rather embarrassing, because they pushed ahead and said, well, how much of the money did the charity finally receive? Because the book was a big seller, not just here in the United Kingdom, but around the world. Well, she couldn't really pinpoint a price. Again, a little bit odd, isn't it? You're going on TV to promote something, you should have all your facts and faculties in front of you. Now, the sad thing is, of course, the book that she's trying to sell is self-funded. And clearly she's trying to redirect the narrative of what happened and what she did, because the book was just part and parcel of it, with things like merchandise, gin, pictures, aprons, you name it. This was a colossal business that had suddenly built up, gaining millions, right? Sadly, as we know, Captain Tom passed away, and then the whole thing exploded because there was a full investigation. I suppose the thing about this with charities, as we lead up to things like Red Nose Day, and I've said this to you before, the problem is when you've got a charitable person, say, who's genuinely wanting to be charitable, as Captain Tom was, with just simply walking up and down in his garden for, charity, raising over 30 million, which again, we're not quite sure where that 30 million went for that particular charity. Isn't it a shame, because it dents our faith in that? If Hannah had gone on screen with all the facts in front of her and said, terribly sorry, this is what happened, we're doing our best to rectify it. But she sat there, as many people might suggest, brass-necked, seemingly still wanting to make sure that there was money to be made, even after his memory. Sad state of affairs, do you think? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.